This is Algebra 2, Section 7.4, Nth Roots. We have certain powers, like 2 to the third is 8, the cube root of 8 is 2. 3 to the third is 27, so the cube root of 27 is 3. 4 to the third root is 64, so the fourth root of 64 is 4. So roots are the exact opposite of the powers. 5 to the third power is 125. Cube root of 125 is 5. If we had the 2 to the fourth root is 16, the fourth root of 16 is 2. Taking the fourth root of something is also the same as taking the square root of something twice. 3 to the fourth power is 81. Fourth root of 81 is 3. Or the square root of 81 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Two to the fifth power is 32. The fifth root of 32 is 2. 2 to the sixth power is 64. The sixth root of 64 is 2. So we have the index, or also known as the root. Inside it's called the radicand and the radical sign. Using a calculator, you can look for the x to the root power. That's the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of y to the fourth. What you're basically doing is you are dividing the exponent with the root. So y to the square root of y to the fourth, that's y to the 4 divided by 2. We kind of do that in our head, and we get 2. You bring down the negative when you take the square root, and once again, you're going to divide the root into the exponent, and you get 4, so that's the fourth power. The fifth root of 243, a to the second, b to the a to the 20th, b to the 25th. You're going to use, if you want to use a graphing calculator, you want to hit 5, then hit the math button, go down to the fifth one, which says x square root, hit 243, and enter, and you get 3. Now, if you were going to use a scientific calculator has that button. And you can hit 5, hit second, alt that button. You'll just have to play around. Every calculator is a little different. When you have the square root of a negative number, that's an imaginary number, and anytime you take an imaginary number, you must give it plus or minus. Once again, you divide the root into the exponent when you have variables. Plus or minus square root of 36x to the 10th has plus or minus 6x to the 5th. When you're taking the square root and there's a negative in front of the square root, you just bring the negative down and then divide the root into the exponent. So what's inside the root just comes down, stays in parentheses, and it's to the 8th power. The fourth root of y to the fourth is y to the 1 power, or we can just say y. The sixth root of 64x to the second minus 3 quantity to the 18th power. Well, first we're going to use the graphing calculator to calculate the sixth root of 64. So we hit 6, hit math, and then hit 5, which brings us down to the x root. Hit 64, enter, and you should get 2. square root of 63 is 6. Y to the third. Don't forget to divide. Again, it's y to the 6 divided by 2. The fourth root of 16x minus 3 to the 12th power. Well, the fourth root of 16 is the same thing as taking the square root of it twice. The square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. Here are some solutions to some of the problems on the worksheet. Because it is the square root of a negative number, we must give it plus or minus 4i y to the second. Now, that is a negative inside. If you want to put a 1, you can, but the square root of negative 1 is plus or minus I. And when you take the cube root of a negative number, it's just negative 1. You can have a 1 there or not have a 1 here. The fourth root of negative 16. Once again, that's an imaginary number, so it's plus or minus 2i x to the fourth y to the second. Now that's the fifth root. All odd roots of a negative number is just a negative number. For numbers 33 through 41, don't forget to try to factor out a GCF first.